you know, we'll see how it is. I haven't played P3 before, so we'll see.
Gotcha. All right, we got a Diablo update. Well, it's not an update. We'll just say it's information regarding the next season. They're calling the Season of Blood. I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
I've heard that this game, and you mentioned I think last week, I've heard that this game is not getting as much community appeal of recent regarding this new season. Am I on track with that? People haven't been as excited about this new season and the current state of Diablo.
I don't know exactly what their numbers look like, but it feels like the hype train for D4 died down like pretty shortly after the new season started. And recently, the past at least couple weeks, if not basically month, the prevalent like opinion in the community is just been popular to say D4 bad, basically.
Yeah, it's
any variation of D4 bad.
I will say obviously we didn't do a lot of season 1, frankly, but I have to be honest about season 1. The season 1 story, I nope, didn't care at all. I didn't care for Kyrie Irving. I didn't care for his like, oh, it's my fault. Yeah, story. I didn't care. I don't know what it was, but the stuff in the season where you acquire the specific materials,
the malignant
hearts. I don't know what it was. It just wasn't. I wasn't vibing with it as much.
Well, part of the problem with it was that inventory management is already a huge problem in this game,
and it just that expanded the issue.
You just filled up you just added another thing that fills up our inventory. Like, yeah, they haven't solved the inventory issues yet. Correct. In the game, and they're working on it. They added another stash tab, and as is in this post, they are doing the gem changes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Season 2.
I saw that. That's
so
good.
Gems are being taken out of your inventory and being put in the materials tab, or at least that's what they said they were gonna do. So I assume they're doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, but so they announced the Season of Blood here. Updates coming in Season of Blood. 5 endgame bosses, new and returning foes for additional endgame challenges. Better target farming of uniques and uber uniques. Renown rewards will carry over when completed on any prior character. Beyond Altars of Lilith and map discovery. I swear to God, if the waypoints are still not unlocked, I will drive to Blizzard headquarters. And I will slam every computer in there. To be like, why do you do this? Why? Why are you like this? And they also said includes potion charges, skill points, Abel cap upgrades, Obol cap upgrades, Paragon points. And just to flip the page, updated elemental resistance systems, vulnerable, overpower, and critical strike damage updates. Gem and stash. Gems no longer take up inventory space. Yay! Stash can be searched and filtered. How was that not already a thing? That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That is such a simple thing. How was that not a thing before?
And that's the thing. That's the thing that like I think people are mostly complaining about with D4 is just like there's just so many like weird things and like quality of life things. Or just like why isn't this in the game? And then, you know, the thing that we talked about already where, you know, you load anybody's stash anytime they appear. Like, why is the game coded like that? That doesn't make any sense.
Why would they load everybody's stashes in like that? Like, why would you do that? I don't understand the thought process unless somebody was just so desperate to get something done as fast as possible. They're like, well, we don't have a week to fix this, so let's just fuck it.
I heard it was that way in Diablo 3, and it feels like they just copy-pasted it.
They did.
Diablo 3, and they didn't think about the repercussions of D4 being an open-world game with, like, more people and yeah, they
can't
fucked it on that one. I feel like they just copy pasted from D3 basically, and like that was it. I was
you
like,
can't
okay.
and you can't do that. Like it's just there are certain things you can get away with the fast and quick method that's not optimal. That will systematically affect every update now. You can't update the stash anymore because you fucked it up the first time. You screwed up the foundation. Like this is the thing. Like you can screw up other things, but you can't screw up the foundation. And this is what for stash in particular, the foundation, they screwed it up because you load in everybody's stash, which
now in order to fix it, you have to take apart the whole fucking thing and like redo it from
you
the
would have to
ground up
redo it.
Because you screwed up the foundation, as you said.
The most important thing is you can't screw up the foundation. If you screw up the foundation, and believe me, this is stuff that I deal with every day at my job. I have this whole thing now. We didn't screw up the foundation, but we made the foundation suboptimal. And now you have to refactor the whole process. And when you do that, you create new things. You create new issues too. So the stash system, the foundation is broken. And because you broke the foundation, adding one tab becomes a tall order. Because you just you coded it as fast as possible to get working, and the person managing the coding process said, good enough, we got to get this out there. And that's like, you know, the person that coded it that way, they just coded it to the way somebody told them to. Somebody told them, hey, just do it as fast as possible. So it's their fault too. It's definitely the fault of the person giving direction. They're just getting some direction. So I just, the stash thing is going to really screw them up for the future. It's really going to screw them up. And they gotta fix it. They're not going to because they can't. They can't at this point anymore. This live service game, they can't spend time fixing it because then their subsequent season update wouldn't have as much content because they would be too busy fixing this shit sorry stash system. This is what happens. You can't now. This will never get fixed because you did this. God, Blizzard. This is what happens.
It will probably take a while, but I hope they'll fix it.
They won't
they'll fix it eventually.
No, they won't. They can't. How would they fix it? They would have to take it apart and put it together, right? That's going to take a while. But they also have to implement all the other stuff to get people to continue to play the next season. So what would end up happening is they'd have to like take away certain updates and focus on the stash. But that would mean it's a less exciting update. I don't think it'll ever get fixed because this is a game that's played by millions of people. And you can't just tell those people, hey, season 3, we fixed the stash. What else did you do?
Nothing.
We put a world boss in. Like that? And this is the issue. This is why you can't fuck up the foundation. Because when you fuck up the foundation, it's not going to get fixed. You'd have to forego a season basically for content. You have to be like, hey, this season is just a bunch of fixes. We fixed the whole stash system. I'm just baffled that they did it this way.
Yeah,
frankly. But anyway,
so yeah, I mean, again, the general consensus is just like there's certain things like that, and then it's still on stash, but like not being able to search and filter your stash is just like, why wasn't this in there in the first place? It's just such like a simple feature. It seems like
that is a simple feature.
It seems like that would not take very long to,
no, it wouldn't.
To implement at all.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't be that way. That would be impossible. Only a complete amateur would do it that way. But adding a search and filter system into that, any reasonable developer would take them less than a day. So that means that got so heavily deprioritized that they were like, we're not going to waste 5 hours updating that. Somebody updating that. Yeah. It's not hard to do. It really isn't hard to do. It like, I've done that. And I'm not even a game developer. And I've done that. And it's not hard. It takes like a day, maybe. if you're good at it, it'll definitely less. So this is one of those things. This is what part of the problem is. Somebody deprioritized that and prioritized the store. They're like, quick, get the store item in. We need the store item first. This is just the frustration. Yeah. It's so frustrating. That search and filter system should have been there day one. But this is what happened. Very frustrating.
But yeah, I mean, they're working on it. We've talked about it. I think Diablo 4 at its base is like, it's a pretty fun game. Like, I like playing it. They need more endgame content, which it seems like they're adding in this update. They said there's five new endgame bosses, that seems pretty good, but we'll see like what that looks like. They're finally updating resistances. Hopefully resistances will actually be a useful stat now, as far as defense. And they're changing, they said, vulnerable, overpower, and critical. So hopefully those will be more balanced so that vulnerable and critical are not like required things for endgame build, which they still are right now, basically. So, and overpower scales really poorly in the endgame, so it's not very useful in the endgame.
Yeah, so it's just, you don't use it.
Yeah, you don't use it. So yeah, again, the changes they're making sound good. We'll see what the season theme actually looks like. You know, we went from like zombies to vampires basically, so I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's all right, I guess. We'll see what it actually entails, if there's going to be like vampiric powers for you to gain, and we'll see what that.
I heard there was maybe a companion that you could get, like a companion that's like a vampire hunter. But I heard maybe maybe that was off base, but I thought I heard something like that.
I mean, she's the season character, just like Kyrie Irving was the season character for season 1.
No, I thought they were gonna add companions, like, you know how in Diablo 2 there were companions. But they're gonna add whatever. I doubt it.
I don't think they're adding companions.
No, I guess not. How sad. You know,
I mean, there are characters throughout like the story and quests who like join you occasionally, but that's like only for the story.
Yeah, it's only for story. Could you like, so zombies? Yeah, so we got like zombies, right? What we got?
Which is funny because like when they originally were talking about season 1 before they announced it, they're like say season 1 is like zombies. It's not zombies, but like say it's zombies.
It's zombies.
And I'm like, but it kind of is. It kind of is zombies.
It kind of is. It's like you're.
It's kind of zombies.
They're corrupted creatures that you can like revive. Like, they're zombies. And these are vampires, which, okay, like, sure, that's fine, I guess. I don't know. Is there any more generic
like
undead themes that they can tap on?
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to figure out the next generic one they're gonna get to. Let's see.
We get aliens.
No. If we get aliens, I think I asked for a refund.
It's just out. It's like aliens.
Werewolves. Oh fuck. There are werewolves in the game.
Oh yeah, werewolves.
But the theme of it being werewolves, that's on point.
Season 3 demons, like that's what most enemies in Diablo are demons. Like,
demons. Demons. That's who we fight already.
That's like Helltide. Helltide is demons. Like, you know.
We already fight demons. We added more stash space.
I mean, there are like zombies and vampire enemies in the game. There's like bats, and then there's like those vampire like dudes that like teleport around and shit. Like,
what about goats? How about a goat season? Rise of the Goat Men.
Season of the goats.
Season of goats. I'd buy that. I'd buy into that immediately.
Revenge of the Goatmen.
Revenge of the Goatmen. We don't see enough of them. What's their story? We need to figure it out. Their story is untold. Season of Succubus.
Season of the Suck.
Season of the Suck. If they did that, if they actually said like updates coming in Season of Suck, I'm bought in again. I'm bought in. I'm bought in again. I just think that would be fucking hilarious. Goatmen are the most common elements. Listen, we need goatmen. I don't know their story. We need to know more about them. The goatmen, their story's not told. We need their story.
everyone's favorite enemy, Red Ghosts. Season of the
Fuck
Red Ghosts.
them.
All the enemies turn into Red Ghosts.
I'd hate that. Just hate
I
it.
would hate that too. Those are the worst. Yeah,
Cow
maybe they'll
level
do a cow-
season?
Yeah, maybe
Yes.
they'll do a cow season and add
Yes.
the cow level.
Yes. Enemies are cows. You have to go through the cow levels. What I don't know. There's like certain enemies you don't see a ton of that I guess they could use, but like yeah, zombies, vampires.
Oh, skeletons. They haven't done skeletons. That's the other like undead thing. This season of skeletons.
They're gonna do a season of like the Skeleton Lord, and they're gonna be like, guys, remember Leoric? He's
Leoric's
back.
Leoric's
Like,
back.
okay, you already brought back a Dario Duriel. You really need to bring back more. Leoric's back. The Tyrant King. Like, great. Cool. Thanks. You remember him? You remember the big skeleton guy? You liked him. You liked Leoric.
He was like a pretty decent like early game boss in D3.
He was. It was like you like him. You liked Endariel. You remember her. You liked Duriel. Remember the like weird bug thing? You loved that. You loved that thing.
I bet you Andariel and Duriel are gonna be two of the endgame bosses that they put in.
Oh god.
They'll just be like endgame versions of the
Of
story the story bosses. They hinted at it in one of the dev chats.
I mean, that's not like a bad thing though.
No,
necessarily.
it's not bad. I think like those were like cool boss fights. They're just like I was like so OP at that point that it just didn't matter. It was just, like the mechanics didn't matter. I could stand in like everything that she did and it didn't do anything. So
Trying to think of other random bosses and like what was the guy in D3? You went through the whole desert and he was like a ghost that talked to you all the fucking time.
oh, Zoltan Cool.
Yeah. You remember Zoltan Cool? You liked him. He's a
Well, there's also like
he's
Belial and Asmodan from.
I like how they're just like, who? They're not here. What about Asmodan? What about that sin? Who? Who? Don't know who that is. Belial? Who? They have like they talk about all the other primevals, right? And then the whole time they're talking about the evils, like, oh, what about Diablo and Baal and Mephisto? I'm thinking like, what happened to Asmodan and Belial? Remember them? They're just like, yeah, we don't remember them either. Fuck those guys.
I mean,
did they even mention them at all?
Nobody liked D3's story, so it seems like Blizzard is just like flushing D3's story down the toilet. Like
They're
anything to do with D3's story, they're like, no, that didn't happen. What's that?
Who's
D3?
Asmodan? You know, the big large demon guy with the crab leg things. Not ringing any bells. What about Belial? Belial? You remember him? We know Baal. You like D2, right? Baal? Mephisto? Did you like how he made Mephisto like a dog? That was pretty cool, right? Like, yeah, but what about these other, like, what about them? You guy from HOTS? Yeah, we stopped HOTS. That game's not.
Oh yeah, that's a dead game.
That's a dead game. Asmodan is a dead game. I don't know. I just found it always weird when they always talked about the primevals, right? And they're just like, but what about Belial and Asmodan? Who? We don't know them. Remember Andariel though? You remember D2. I just found it funny. Like, I barely get any references for D3 at all, but there's tons of D2 references in this.
Like Chaldeum was the desert city in D2, and like you go to Chaldeum in D4.
Yeah. So I'm just like, man, there's tons of D2 references in here, but very little D3 at all.
Yeah.
If any, like if at all, which I found interesting. Anyway, I don't have anything else for D2 Season of Blood. I got to get through more of this current season. So
yeah, I think about playing it now and again. I'm like, I could play like a little bit of Diablo right now, and then I don't.
Then you don't.
So
that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, I could play. I'm gonna try and play at least more next month. Just this month was kind of like this month wasn't necessarily my best month. So hopefully I'm able to like get back into some of those old things, like not like Baldur's Gate obviously being one, but Diablo as well and some other things. So anyway. Ready to talk about Gamescom?